What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Reid Lancaster Show. I want to start today by saying I've heard your request and I'm going to start covering the NFL as well. So, a lot of people are interested in those topics and those teams. As we get going, we're going to do some episodes on that. I don't want to spoil anything, but we do have some things in the works. Today, I want to look at the SEC football schedule for week one. So a lot of these teams are going to have warm-up games, if you want to call them that, but there are some interesting matchups that I want to break down and give you some stats and my opinion on. So let's get into it with the first game or first SEC game of the season. We are looking at Thursday night, September the 3rd. You have Arkansas Pine Bluff at Missouri. Missouri, you got to win this game by a lot. Arkansas Pine Bluff should not be anywhere on the field with you. So take this, run with it, start the season off 1-0. That's the only game before Saturday. And Saturday morning, we start with an 11 a.m. kickoff. We've got East Carolina at Alabama. Keelan Russell, again, assuming you're going to be the guy, as we spoke about on the first podcast. Keelan Russell, go out there, prove yourself. If it is Austin Mack for some reason, I'm going to be shocked, but same thing, prove yourself. I do think both quarterbacks are going to play. It's just a matter of which one starts and which one gets to play 3.5 quarters of football and which one gets 2 drives. So Alabama, go in there, win that game by 40 points, and make everybody start talking about you like it's the 2010s because you're Alabama, you need to get back to that. Next game, we got Kent State at South Carolina. South Carolina, you know my hot take with Lenora Sellers. I think he's overrated. But South Carolina, go out there, prove me wrong. It is Kent State, but you go out there and you throw for 350, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Lenora Sellers, I'm like, okay, maybe you're a little bit better than what I thought or gave you credit for. But again, it's Kent State, so you're going to win that game regardless. Next up, we got Youngstown State versus Kentucky. Will Stein, first year head coach at Kentucky. You're going to get that win, but not really anything tremendous to go off of just because of roster turnover at Kentucky. So let's see what happens there. Tennessee State at Georgia. Georgia, put in your third and fourth strings somewhere middle of the third quarter and just let Tennessee State kick a field goal. I mean, that's all I'm asking. You know, you don't have to shut them out. You can give them 3 points and you can score 50 by mid-third quarter for sure. So Georgia is going to roll there. The first interesting game we have is going to be a 2:30 kickoff, Baylor versus Auburn. That game is in Atlanta. I would not expect this to be a home crowd for Auburn. I know Atlanta only being an hour and a half away. Those Baylor fans, they're going to travel, especially Atlanta. Atlanta is easy to get to. They're going to be excited. DJ Lagway is now at Baylor, so coming from Florida, he's going to know what to expect, the SEC crowd. But if Baylor comes out and makes some noise, this game to me is 50-50. If Baylor comes out, wins this ball game, I think they've got momentum going into the year in their conference. But again, 50-50 game. I'm not really sure which one to pick. A lot of questions for Auburn. Will the talent from South Florida translate to the SEC? We don't know, but 50-50 game there. Furman at Tennessee. Tennessee, you're going to roll there. It's not going to be close. So I really don't have much to add to that. You got Texas State at Texas. This game, Texas, I want Arch Manning, Cam Coleman to have 3 touchdowns combined. I think that's going to be a great look for you going forward. So Texas, go out there, let Arch and Cam Coleman show out together is all I'm saying. Next, you've got North Alabama at Arkansas. Arkansas, I know I took a dig at you the first episode, but you know what? You've got to win this game. And as I stated before, Tulsa, because the rest of your schedule, I mean, it's horrible. Arkansas, if you win 6 games this year, I'm going to be extremely impressed. That's just me looking at the preseason. Anything can happen, but it's not looking good for you. So week 1, North Alabama, you've got to come out and dominate. Next game, you've got Austin Peay at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, Jared Curtis, I'm ready to see you play. I'm ready to see what Clark Lee does with the exit of Diego Pavia, who got 11 years of playing college football. Vanderbilt, Are you going to stay a contender in the SEC, or are you going to fall back to the where you were? And let's hope that you stay up there for your sake. But I'm excited to watch it. Next, you got Missouri State at Texas A&M. Marcel Reid is going to go off against Missouri State. There is no chance this game is within 40 points at all. I think Texas A&M is going to score 60 plus, and Missouri State, you may get lucky, score a little bit, but Texas A&M's defense, they're going to eat you up. So I'm expecting a blowout there. It's going to be over within the first quarter. The next game that is interesting that I'm going to break down a little bit further, you've got Clemson at LSU. A lot of people are going to say, oh, this is going to be a good game. And it may be, but I've got one huge advantage going LSU's way. That is, it is a night game, Tiger Stadium, LSU. It's your first game having Lane Kiffin as your head coach. The fans, if they can make it to the game, you all know what I'm saying? If they can make it there and be halfway in the right state of mind, that place is going to be insane. So LSU, you better take advantage of that and go out here and kick some tail. Is all I'm asking. Kick their tail to start off the year. Clemson, you got a question at quarterback. The guy threw for 4 touchdowns, 1 interception last year off 71 attempted passes. So you've got a lot to figure out. You're returning 5 starters on offense, 3 on defense. That's just not going to be a good recipe for going in Tiger Stadium week 1. The next game we've got that's not going to be an issue is Louisiana Monroe, Mississippi State. Louisiana Monroe, I believe, is probably the worst team or one of the worst teams in college football. So, Kamario Taylor, time to shine. Let's have you run for 100 plus yards and throw for 200, score a lot of touchdowns. Next game, Florida Atlantic at Florida. Florida, you know that I've got questions about you, but you're not gonna have a problem with this game. Florida Atlantic, you're gonna roll over them, but you've got to establish your identity in week 1. Otherwise, I think you're gonna struggle going forward. I think this is a must-win by 28 points if you want to have momentum going into week 2 and say, okay, we're back, we're solid. If you win this game by 10 or 14 points, everybody's still going to have questions about you. So don't go and do that week 1. Next up, you've got UTEP at Oklahoma. And Oklahoma, same deal. It's not going to be close. The time says to be announced. With what I'm looking at, that's the last update. If that's changed, somebody comment, let me know. But I believe, yeah, time to be announced. So Oklahoma, whatever time you play, it really doesn't matter. It's UTEP. John Mateer, go out. Get your name back in the Heisman conversation after week 1, after last year's injury put you out of that. So you should have no problem. But the last matchup of the SEC for week 1 is going to be Louisville versus Ole Miss in Nashville. That's a 6:30 p.m. Central Time kickoff. Everybody is saying this is going to be a good game. Louisville went 9-4 last year. Ole Miss made a playoff run. I am here to tell you this game is not going to be close. I'm going to go through a few stats and let you know why. Louisville, your quarterback last year, or who you have starting, threw for 139 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Unknown. You went 9-4. That's great. That's a good record. But you were 1-3 versus top 25. That should let you know everything you need to know about the ACC and how they were last year. Your schedule was a joke. 9-4, 1-3 versus top 25. And you're going to play Ole Miss the first game. And let's just look at this. Ole Miss is favored by 6.5. If you're going to put money down, I'm not telling you to. You do what you want to. If you're into that thing, Ole Miss right now is favored 6.5 points. I'd take that all day long. Trinidad Chambliss last year completed 66% of his passes for 3,937 yards, 22 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. I mean, that's ridiculous. But let's say you do slow that down. Guess who their running back is? It's Keywan Lacey, 1,500-yard back with 24 touchdowns last year. There is no chance that you're going to stop both of those guys, and their defense is hungry. So Ole Miss, is going to win that game by a lot more than their favored 6.5. That is completely insane. I will come on and make an apology video if it is a closer game than that, or if Louisville somehow wins, because that to me is just insane. I don't think it's going to be close. And that's it. That are all the games that are going to be for the SEC Week 1, and it's going to be exciting. We've got a couple of good matchups. Again, even the other games that are going to be your quote warm-up games for your team, it's always fun to watch. Let your team establish their presence and get their identity Week 1 to go forward and see, especially the teams that have new quarterbacks, which I'm looking at several on this list, whether they be transfers or a couple of true freshmen. This is going to be exciting. So, Week 1 college football, especially for the SEC, a lot of unknowns with a few good games sprinkled in. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, as I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, we are going to start covering NFL. So, podcasts on that are going to be coming soon. I don't want to spoil anything, but those are going to be fun. But make sure you follow us on social media, subscribe on YouTube, and until next time, thanks for listening.